Event 13 of the 2020 Marble League, sponsored by Last Week Tonight with John Oliver, takes us to new and dizzying heights. Hey everybody, I'm Greg Woods. Welcome to the high jump. Did you know, by the way, that 55% of our viewers are not subscribed to our channel? Make sure you're with us for the final few events. Click subscribe. Take a look at King Stardust here coming in under the bar. Each marble is going to have 2 attempts at a height. If you don't make it in that time, you're done. King Stardust came oh so close, but just for posterity, he is going to take it easy for the second jump. Divided into multiple rounds, each marble will be performing until it passes 37 centimeters at height in the first round. We'll start at 35.5, and Quasar from Team Galactic easily gets by. In fact, also gets by 36, 36.5, and 37 is the first failed attempt. These things come at you pretty quickly. We've condensed it down just a little bit. But on jump number 2, Quasar gets by 37. Now on to Raspberry Racers. 35.5, easy. You know, this event is really about getting in your own head. If you mess up on the first jump, you really have to put yourself back together in order to make the second one, especially if you had that momentary lapse on an easy height. You really got to focus. Ruzzy from the Raspberry Racers does not make the same mistake twice and easily gets by. Ruzzy does not make it 36.5 though, and will have one more attempt, just a little bit off on the launch, and actually doesn't make it past 36.5. On to the Green Ducks with Ducky. 35.5. Piece of cake. Makes sense for ducks. Flying comes naturally, I suppose. Past 36, 36.5. Also fairly simple. Best performance by the Green Ducks as it gets past 37, in fact. Coming on the black hole funnel just a couple of events ago, and then otherwise you have to go back to the funnel endurance when the Green Ducks last did well. On to the Hazers, where 36 becomes the tripping point. Hit the bottom of the bar, actually, on that one, did Misty. So she's going to get another jump to pass 36, and does. Sometimes it's not a matter of ability, but sometimes focus. You can be just a little bit off when you are trying to reach the apex. Misses on 36.5. Second attempt coming. Cleared. Remember, if you're getting past that 36, 37 mark, your round 1 done. On to Wizzy. 35.5 for the Savage Speeders. Oh, cleared it, and then I think came down on top of it. Yes! That's another example of just timing your arc and planning it out correctly can make a big difference. But thankfully, Wizzy was able to put it together in the second attempt. Had the opposite problem this time, coming in at the bottom of the bar on 36. Savage Speeders, of course, sitting in second in the overall standings. Winners of the last 2 events, the Black Hole Funnel and the Relay Run. But they do not advance out of round 1 here. Do I sense some boos? Captain of the Crazy Cat's Eyes, Red Eye, stumbles on 35.5. I know that kind of gives them a little bit of nervousness. If you mess up on what is supposed to be the easiest one, the benchmark, but 36 comes and goes and would have had enough for 40 on that one. Sometimes overcompensation can run your energy stores dry later on in the event, as the first attempt at 37 does not make it for Red Eye. Gets it on the second go, however, and the Crazy Cat's Eyes, our 5th place in the standings, make it out of round 1. Aqua from the Oceanics, easy at 35.5. On to 36, and also careens over it smoothly. 36.5, still not a problem for Aqua. Oceanics sitting middle of the pack could use advancement. Does not make it 37 that time, but will have one more attempt, and hits the bottom of the bar. Oceanics do not make it past 37. Thunder from the Thunderbolts. The captain of the team sitting toward the bottom of the standings. In fact, the only 3 teams below the Thunderbolts, well, 2 of them have never been in the Marble League before, and the other one is Mellow Yellow, who's had a world of trouble. On to 37 already for Thunder. And a thwack of the bar. Ready for the second attempt. Gets it. Thunder is moving on. Dizzying heights indeed. Some of the people up in the stands are up there pretty high, but I don't think there are any poor views inside of the Andromedome, as Jelle clears 35.5 and 36 with plenty of height to spare and distance around the bar. 36.5 comes and goes. Did they get out of the first round? Yes, indeed. Jelle clears it. Minty Swirl from the Minty Maniacs. Not a problem. Third place team won the very first event, won the third event, got third in the event in between, and it started to come to form a little bit more of late. Bronze in the Sand Moguls, gold in the 5-meter sprint, and they advance out of round 1 here. On to Snarl from Balls of Chaos, who easily gets by on the first go. On to 36. Did not clear that one. May have had the height, just not the trajectory. Snarl tries it again, and does not make the same mistake twice. On past 36.5, in fact. Snarl easily past 37. That was a strong showing from Balls of Chaos. Waspy from the Midnight Wisps. Very consistent across this Marble League. Usually in the upper part of the standings for most of the events. In fact, got a silver back in the Black Hole Funnel. 36.5. With room to spare from Waspy. At 37, easy. Again, this was set up because most of these heights were fairly standard for the competitors. We've seen what they have done in the past, and in the practice rounds, that these marbles do usually without people watching from the stands. And of course, all the training that they put in month after month gives the committee a bit of a ballpark for where to start with this. Mandarin clears 36.5, 37. Also not a problem for the O'Rangers. On to Stinger, the captain of the Hornets. Maybe getting a little close to the bar on the approach. On both 35.5, ooh, and 36. Dangerously close, in fact. And it caught up to him there. Stinger just broadsides it. May have had the height. Oh, yes, indeed, had the height. 36.5. And with that same trajectory, 37 should be easy, and it is. Momo. Captain for Team Momo stumbles out of the block there. Not a good height or trajectory. Shot straight upward. We'll get another attempt, and thankfully gets by. You know, I spoke to several of the teams beforehand, including Momo, and one of the things that they all told me was not to get too discouraged if you mess up on the first run. Momo looked better in the middle part of the Marble League, with silvers in block pushing and the triathlon, and a chance for more here as 37 comes and goes. Honey from the Bumblebees. I mentioned that they and the Hornets were first-timers in the Marble League. Obviously having a lot to live up to with the show that the Green Ducks put on in their first Marble League. Bumblebees down toward the bottom of the order with the Hornets, showing that, one, it's not easy, and two, what the Green Ducks did was pretty tremendous. Honey gets by 37, and they'll be moving on. There you can see how everyone did in the opening round. Savage speeders. Pretty shocked at that, but now we'll start the second round because there's still 13 marbles left with a pretty big chance that the Marble League record could be broken. That one goes back, by the way, to 2017. Our hosts get us going. 37.5. 38? How high can Team Galactic go? Did not make it at 38.5, but will have another chance at it. Team Galactic, experts at finishing 5th in the Marble League. but gets it on jump 2, and that does beat the record of Jelle from 2017. The new record will be assigned, of course, after everything is done, because there's still a lot of competitors left to go. But for now, there you have it. 38 for Ducky from the Green Ducks. Can't get it at 38.5. Bottom of the order. Listen to the crowd still buzzing from that. And does get it at 38.5. All right, that's where we will hold them. And then we'll go on to the next round for those that clear 38.5. Misty. A lot of spin. Get it on the second try? No. The Hazers will be stopped at 37.5. Red Eye. Comes up for Crazy Cat's Eyes and nudges the edge of the bar. Wasn't quite a bottom hit. Needs just a little bit more height. And gets it. With some to spare, in fact. Red Eye will have a go at 38 now. Same problem as the first run. Decent spin, decent height. Just got to get that launch angle and can't do it. Crazy Cat's Eyes are done. Our 5th place runners in the Marble League. Means there's a chance for some other teams to make some progress. Could the captain of the Thunderbolts be one of them? Thunder clears 37.5. A little bit to spare. 38. No, went under the bar completely. Didn't even hit it. Had the height, but just way off on the angle. And as a result, Thunderbolts, they're also done. Thunderbolts, their best event thus far was the long jump. Couldn't get the height here. Jelle, the former record setter, just watched that record fall. Oh, can't get 38. Needs to make this one if Jelle wants to reclaim that title. That one going back to 2017, mind you, and does get past 38. Jelle also breaks the record from 2017 and 38.5. And we'll be moving on. Minty Swirl clears 37.5, but not 38. Minty Maniacs do get it past on the second try and stay alive. 38.5, no. One more chance to join those moving on. Oh, and they had the height, but landed on the bar. In fact, you could see the bar bending underneath. It was such a solid vertical impact. Only then did it jump off those pegs. Snarl has watched mixed fortunes on the runs beforehand. Fails on jump 1, but passes on jump 2 with height to spare. 38 comes next. No, not that time. Also, shout out to the referees, by the way, who are on this high stand at bar level watching. Hopefully they aren't afraid of heights. 38.5, Snarl gets by. And Balls of Chaos are on to the next round. With each passing marble, field is getting whittled down. Waspy, or will the Midnight Wisp be in that mix? Can't get it on 37.5. That was just a slight glance of the bar. That one was a harder impact, so Midnight Wisps are done. Much better on the first try. That one, a harder hit. Mandarin from the O-Rangers clears 37.5. Second height at 38. Jump 1. Didn't get it. Good distance on the bar. Not that that counts for much. Gets 38. Mandarin has a chance at advancement at 38.5 and clears it. With some height to spare, this record will be falling. Question is, who will stand or fly victorious at the end? Stinger from the Hornets once in on the party. Gets 37.5, but not 38. Next jump, though, does get by. 38.5 upcoming. And will join the fray. Now Momo. Bump on the bar there. Does not clear it. Second attempt. Sails on past. It was good to get past the first height that is thrown at you. Now you can start focusing on these later ones. 38 gets it. 38-5 gets it as well. So Team Momo will be advancing onto the Bumblebees. Honey trying to stretch her wings and can't do it that time. Second attempt does clear it. Some of these marbles have a lot more spin than others on these launch attempts, as Honey gets past 38. Now, I realize that there are no style points, but still, some marbles have a flair for the dramatic. As there you see those who have moved on. 9 marbles past the old record of 38. The final round, though. And Quasar does not get 39. There you go. Does on the second jump. So rather than having them go until they stop, we will go basically round by round from here on out. Ducky. Second attempt? No. So they are done. The Green Ducks will finish in the top 10. I think they were really eyeing a top 5 if they could. Mellow Yellow, they'll be happy somewhere in the top 10, but they do get by 39. So how many will be eliminated? I'll tell you how high up Mellow Yellow will be finishing. Ooh, well off the mark there was Snarl, almost past the bar, hitting the front side of the bar, so put the marbles back, and does not get past 39 either. Mandarin from the O'Rangers clears it. You feel the intensity ratcheting up here. Stinger from the Hornets now. Can't get by the bar on that attempt. We'll have one more. Stadium abuzz, and that turns to a disappointing buzz. I don't know what that sounds like, but Stinger can't get past 39. The Hornets are out. So that is, again, one more spot that some of the likes of Mellow Yellow, for instance, are climbing up the field. Momo will have to rely on jump number 2 to get by, and does not. Oh, was looking so good earlier. But Team Momo is out at 39, which has caught a lot of these teams out. Bumblebees, what can Honey do? She gets by easily. Oh my gosh, well above 40, in fact. Let's hope she saved some of that up for the next round. Said it was daunting for those referees. It's even more daunting for these competitors to go up that high. All right, 39.5 for Team Galactic on some of the remaining marbles. Doesn't get it. Needs a lot more height on the second run. No. Quasar is done. So Team Galactic. And Yella joins them on a failed first attempt. Will anybody get past 39.5? No. Jump number 2 also failed. Bottom of the bar on that one. You can see the angle of the bar, how it goes flying, how square they were. And Mandarin gets over it. 39.5 the lead to the O'Rangers, our championship leaders. Honey from the Bumblebees. Ooh, that was looking close. May have had the height. And does on jump number 2. This is turning into a good battle here, as our newcomers, the Bumblebees, into the Marble League this year. We've whittled it down. 40, and Mandarin clears it. I think with some space to spare. All right. The marble is in your court now, Bumblebees. Honey? Ooh, bottom of the bar. Needs more height and a better angle. Honey? Doesn't get it. So the Bumblebees will get the silver, and the O'Rangers will get another gold. Question is, how high can the O'Rangers get? Mandarin will attempt to better the record. And does! 40.5! Just by a hair. Attempting 41. Nope. This is just for extra glory right now. They know they've got the gold. Mandarin. No, not quite. However, it is still a new Marble League record. 40.5. In the high jump, Mellow Yellow gets the bronze. Congratulations to them. Bumblebees the silver, but the O'Rangers get the gold. And as a result, a $5,000 donation will be made in the O'Rangers' name to the St. Louis Area Food Bank, courtesy of Last Week Tonight. Whew, a long event. Look what it's done to the standings. Not much. Only 5 position changes overall, none among the top 5, so the Rangers still the team to beat as we move into the Aquathlon. Thank you so much for watching the Marble League 2020, sponsored by Last Week Tonight with John Oliver. So long, everyone.